don't know how this video is gonna go. It's just kind of a literal direct stream of conscious on this one. Uh, but I really think we need to be weird again. I don't know how else to say it really. I have spent my whole life being, weird, and there's a lot of negative things that have come with that. I've, dealt with bullying and stuff like that. Uh, but I really just hate that um, there's this kind of overwhelming push now to be quote unquote normal, especially with the kids nowadays, because it is such a gift to be weird. Um, like I spent my entire really childhood. I still am a huge Star Wars fan, so that hasn't changed. But I mean, after school, when I was in elementary school, I would literally come home and pull up the Wikipedia and just hit random page and read for hours. I would do that, just learning more about random Star Wars things. Um, and that's something I'm almost proud of now as an adult. Um, Obviously it was not as cool when I was a kid, and I have been reamed for it most of my life. Um, but this kind of came up recently. Um, I've had a couple instances where, I've just been kind of talking about Star Wars, um, and I know a lot about it, so it comes across when I'm talking about it. But um, I've had people like genuinely point blank ask me, like, are you not embarrassed by that? And it's, almost insulting to me to hear that because I truly am not embarrassed. Part of me is insecure, and I start to panic. Like, should I be embarrassed by that? Um, but the longer I think about it, truly, the more I feel confident that I shouldn't be. I should be proud that I'm weird and that I have this extremely niche special interest um, with Star Wars. And I know, it's a little, it's not really that niche. It's the most popular sci-fi franchise ever, and so that is part of it as well. Um, but at the same time, the legends and the comics and the books, that is not so common. It's truly, I mean, there's amazing content there if you are interested in sci-fi. The Star Wars books and comics and um, really all of their external media outside of the movies and TV shows, they're so good. I mean, there's some crappy books, but in general, they're so good. Um, and I really wish more people were into them. Like I know, a lot of people are familiar with stuff like Thrawn and the Legends universe. Um, but there's so much good stuff in there. The Thrawn trilogy of books is probably my favorite trilogy ever. Truly, like I love the Thrawn trilogy. I've reread it twice this year. And that's not a joke. I've literally reread the books twice this year. Um, but I just like feel bad that kids nowadays aren't. They're not that they're not allowed. What the? Did I just do a front flip? Okay. Um, they're not like allowed to be weird. Like it's the weirdest thing to me that you know having passion and stuff are considered taboo nowadays almost. Um, and I think that's insane. Like, I really think that's insane, and I don't know what kids nowadays are supposed to do. I think it's ridiculous for, uh, these people I see on the internet that kind of treat being cool as the only way to live, and you have to be cool and you can never be weird. And I just feel bad. And it's kind of on the rise, I feel like, because of, the kind of the rise in social media um, presence within the mainstream media. I grew up where it was a weird place for weird people, and there's downsides to me growing up on the internet as well, for sure. Um, but it was really kind of a community for me to be able to express my interests that um, I didn't have physically. Like I was into Star Wars custom figures, and not to toot my own horn, but I was kind of big in some of the forum communities. At the time, I was a kid, so I didn't really do too much, but I had a decent amount of following with some of these. Like, this is how showing my age here for sure. Like, this is before YouTube communities, and like I was literally on web pages in communities for Star Wars action figures as a child. I mean, I was maybe a teenager at the time, and that's just kind of, who I am. Obviously, there's a lot of risk with that. I definitely got lucky with that, but being able to kind of grow up with that found community online that um, kind of showed me it's okay to be weird. Like, it's okay. There are other people like me. Um, I might not live near them, and I might live across the country. Like, one of my, I wouldn't say he was a friend, but one of my closer acquaintances from these communities lived in London. Um, and, I never physically met him, but we were able to communicate, and I was able to realize I'm not that weird just because there's nobody around me that's like me. Um, and I guess that's not even the right way to put what I'm trying to say, because I do think it's good to be weird. Um, but I think there's a lot of negative connotation around being weird. And I really hope, one day we can kind of get rid of that stigma again. Because it is so fun to be weird and to have these interests. And I just feel bad. Like, I don't, the people nowadays, there's this anti-cringe culture going around that I'm not really, I'm not big in. My TikTok page is really niche. But I do see occasionally some of the kind of mainstream TikTok content. And I just feel bad because I can tell there's this, like, anti-cringe stuff going on. Like, you cannot be perceived as weird on it, or you're gonna get, uh, there's just gonna be a whole bunch of people talking bad about you, and I hate that. Like, I really do. Um, I, uh, I open TikTok and I just see. Oh, I didn't even know Discord was on. I see all these comments that are just so hateful on people that are genuinely just enjoying themselves, and I feel so bad about it. because it's literally people just having fun, and I just feel bad. Like truly, I don't, I'm never above teasing people. Like teasing is okay, but we've got this kind of problem now. Like we just have a problem of people not being allowed to enjoy things because it's cringe. And I just hate it. Like, I mean, I get that there's weird stuff and people are into weird things sometimes, but um, I don't know. I just think it's really strange to be hating on people for having fun within reason. Like, there's obviously certain things that we need to be. I don't know if careful is the right word, but in general, good people have things that interest them and they need to be encouraged, not, um, kind of shut down. Um, and I kind of am seeing that more now as I'm getting older and I'm kind of entering the workforce and I see these people that have spent their whole lives trying not to be weird and they're just boring and soulless people and just feel bad for them. Like, I really do. I just hate that they've got nothing going on. They have, uh, they go to work and they have this boring small talk, hey, how's the weather? I can't believe it's weather today. Did you see the game last night? Um, and sports can be a special interest. It's one of mine. Um, literally have probably watched every football game in the last 4 years. Um, like the all 22s of every game. Like I'm not even talking just watching the games. Like it's truly a special interest of mine. Oh God. Okay, we're good. But it's just kind of sad. Like I see these coworkers literally that just have nothing going on. And they go to work and they go home and they talk to their wives who are also boring and don't do anything. And I just feel bad because they have nothing they enjoy. And I'm kind of, you know, in a weird spot with that because I do work in IT and I benefit from that because it's a lot of people that are like me and a lot of us really enjoy playing video games. Um, so we've got that going. Pretty much everybody in my department plays video games, except for like some of the managers. And kind of the people that take lives really seriously. But everybody else in my department all they play games a lot. Like it's not your average um, enjoyment. Like I really have seen a huge kind of increase in casual video game players since COVID, and that kind of really barrier to entry is gone now. A lot of people play video games casually, like a lot of men do. Oh my god. Um, oh, I'm alive. Okay. Um, but I am definitely on average with my coworkers. We're on the other half of that average. Um, we've got well, we don't anymore. We haven't used it in a little while, but we had a Minecraft server for our department going for a while. There's been like 20 people that play in that. Um, and that's just kind of the, things that I've benefited from having this community in my field. Um, but it's just sad. Like, it's really sad to see, these coworkers that I have that just go to work and go home and don't really do anything. And sometimes it's different when you have kids and stuff like that, where that takes up all your free time. You don't really have a lot of free time anymore. Um, and it becomes a sacrifice to have hobbies at that point. It does. But it's just sad to see the people that truly have the time and just don't have anything going on. Because that's really all there is to it. When you're an adult, and I remember thinking in high school, if I don't have friends and I'm not cool and people don't see me as cool, it's over. And then I have a real job now, and I have all this stuff in my life, and I just kind of see it mostly doesn't matter anymore. Like I basically everything I did in high school, not that it was meaningless, but it really just doesn't matter that much. Like truly, what matters is my hobbies and my interests, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Like it, um, oh Jesus, what was that? The real important stuff that has set me apart in my career and in my life has been my special interests. Oh, I suck. Please, please, please. Anyways, special interests. That's really been kind of the thing that has set me apart as a person. I've been benefiting from having these special interests much more. I benefit from them much more than being cool ever would have benefited me. Oh, I forgot to check if I have the rangefinder unlocked. Anyways, I truly think having special interests is what we need as people. I think we're missing that now a lot, and we're kind of really suffering. There's a lot of mediocrity around now because everybody's worried about being cringe. And I just wish people knew that it's okay it's okay to be perceived as cringe. uh, and it's it does it can hurt in the moment. I was bullied pretty heavily for some of my interests, like Star Wars and video gaming. To this day I still get offhanded comments about it, which is it's ridiculous in 2025 that we're still attacking people's interests. But uh, especially uh, do I not have the rangefinder yet? Oh, I just think it's insane. I really do. That okay, we're good. That we think it's we think it's bad. Like I can't. I don't understand thinking that interests are bad. Like life should not be boring. And I see these people and that I am around, and they're just bored all the time. And boredom is not a bad thing in general. You need to be bored um, in life. You really do. It's good for you to be bored. Um, but it shouldn't be so boring that you've got nothing going on. Like you should have things going on in life, and you should be able to enjoy yourself and have fun. And that's really what it comes down to, is enjoying life, because it's not worth, the rest of your life is not worth not enjoying it. Like you only get one shot at life. You only get the one. And it is such a waste of your life to only ever worry about being cool. Because you'll never be cool enough. You will never be cool enough. But, you know, I've become proud of who I am because of my special interests. Because they've made me who I am. And if it's not cool, I don't care. I'm not interested in your opinion if you don't think it's cool. God damn. Faye's butthole is gone. He's getting a bag real quick. Oh Jesus. Okay, that was crazy. I don't remember where I was, so you have to give me a second. Special interest. I just think it's crazy that, you know, I think it's insane that we think as a society right now that it's more valuable to be cool. Like, I truly do not understand. I don't find being cool as a valuable skill. And that's ultimately what everything comes down to in your adulthood. Is, you know, these skill sets that you have. If you want to, you know, make money and have the life you want to live, you need to have skills. And you don't get any skills from being cool. You don't. I mean, you kind of develop some side skills that are valuable. You know, you can develop the kind of ability to talk with others and stuff like that. But it's just, you know, that's not a skill that is worth forgetting the rest of, or I guess not taking the rest of the skills. Um, you know, I'm not great with talking with others, but I'm decent enough, and I have all these other skills that I got from being weird, and that's something that you can never have by being cool. You know, I benefit in my field from a natural understanding of computers, and data and stuff like that. And it's not because I was cool. It's not. It's because I was at home screwing around with computers when I was 12. That's who I was, and that's who I am, and that's not ever gonna change. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Alright, we got him. It's not ever gonna change. Like, I'm always gonna be this weird, and I love that about myself. I love, you know, people kind of think, oh, I'm gonna feel like I wasted all this time, but I've enjoyed everything. You know, I've got all these problems. Sure, it's not all, you know, daisies, and you know, life isn't always great. But I genuinely wouldn't be who I am today or where I am today if I wasn't willing to get out there and embarrass myself. Like, I think that's such an important part of life is, you know, I have had to learn the hard way that my interests are not cool, and that you know, not that I deserve to be made fun of for them, but that some of the stuff just, I can't talk about it with people because they just don't get it. And it's kind of sad, but not like me. Like, I'm not sad that other people don't get it. I'm not. I'm just sad that they can't see it. Like, I just hate that they can't. You know, I kind of, when I am, what the hell is going on here? Um, you know, I can see people that are enjoying whatever their interests are, and I see that it's genuine, and I'm just like, you know what? Hell yeah. And that's really kind of like the way I live life now. Is I'm just like, you know what? Hell yeah. If that's what you find interesting, and you're enjoying it, and you're not hurting anybody, and you're just having fun, hell yeah, enjoy it. I don't care. Ow! What the? Who's shooting me? Dadgummit. Um, anyways, I just think it's weird to hate on somebody for doing something they think is fun. And I especially think it's weird to think that being cool is more important than anything else. I think it's insane to think that. Truly, I do. Because being cool doesn't last. It never will. You're always going to age out of being cool. And there's nothing you can do about that. But you can never age out of your interests. Like, truly, you can't. It's... Does this work? Try it. I just think it's, one of the greatest joys in life to be able to enjoy yourself and have fun. I think it's just such a good experience to, you know, put yourself out there and enjoy things so that people don't understand. Because they won't. People will always misunderstand. And that's kind of just part of it. Um, but you can learn to, be proud of who you are. And that's kind of beautiful, like really it is. Oh, come on. Dadgummit, come on. There it is. It's truly, it's beautiful to be able to enjoy things and, kind of not stress about what people are going to think. Because I spent so long in my life kind of hiding my love of things. Because it made me weird. It made me look like an outcast. Um, and it never really worked. Like, I never fixed it. I was always still an outcast. People just didn't know why. Um, and it was a waste. Like, I could have, spent so much more time enjoying what I enjoy. Um, and instead, I just spent it all screwing around trying to look cool. I wasn't even trying to look cool, but I was just trying to not be weird. And it's such a waste. It's such a waste of my time to try and be cool. Like, it really is. I think it's such a cool um, experience in life to be able to enjoy things, unabashedly. And to just kind of know that no matter what's going on, you're good. This might not be the greatest use of your time, but you've enjoyed it. So at the end of the day, it's worth every second. And I really feel like a lot of people are so worried about wasting their time. Um, and I just don't feel that way. I feel like, every second you spend doing something you love, it's not wasted. Um, and there's extremes to that. It's not a end all be all of rules. There's, extremes for sure. But in general, with the average person, time spent doing something you love is never wasted. And I truly believe that. I don't think there's a way to waste time that you are doing something you love. There's not always a direct correlation like, weightlifting. That's a great example of something with a direct correlation of doing something you love. You do something you love, you get stronger, you feel better. Um, Video games aren't like that, really. You can make the argument my reflexes are being improved, and that's, sure. I'm not here to argue about that. It's kind of proven at this point that part of it, part of the hand-eye reflex coordination, um, it is improved by consistent video gaming, um, but it's not as direct a correlation with enjoying life and oh god, I'm dead. Um, It's not as direct a correlation as doing it and enjoying it, in a direct benefit in life. But for me, it's great for my mental health. I have a lot of job stress, and so I play games that, I take them seriously, but I mainly play with the intention of relaxing and, not having such a focus on, um, things that stress me out. And so I don't play games that stress me out. And it does wonders for my mental health, uh, my physical health. I mean, it's kind of the same stuff at this point, for me, but there's not as easy to directly correlate the two because there are so many factors that go into stuff like that. But, I'm really trying hard to kind of get rid of the stigma that video games are a waste of time. And um, things like that, these comments that are just dumb comments. Like, truly, I think it's stupid to say that video games are a waste of time because they're not. Um, they're a hobby now, just like any other hobby, and that should be something that people accept. Like, it's not going away. Um, nice. It's kind of a byproduct of where I grew up. Uh, growing up in the Midwest feels like times are very behind on a lot of things. Um, but, that kind of general consensus definitely feels against, you get these certain subsets of stuff that you can do that are deemed cool. Otherwise, you're this outcast. And I just think it's a load of crap. I do. I think it's ridiculous. Uh, oh, come on. Please die. Dang it. Um, I just think it's weird. I think it's really weird to be, a, you know, the kind of feeling that, this is cool. And it's only this that's cool. If you do anything else, you're weird, and we don't want to associate with you. Because it's just kind of like an echo chamber almost of, this kind of stuff that nobody really cares about, like, at all. And it's just sad. Please, please, he's 1 health. Okay, sweet. I don't know, I just think it's weird to do that. I don't know how else to say it. I think it's strange to think that your interests are somehow better than somebody else's, I guess, is part of it. Especially the kind of popular opinions on things. I think it's ridiculous to say this is the correct enjoyment of your time. If you do anything else, you're wasting your time. Because it's either all waste or none of it is. Oh, teammate, that was a kill. Okay, I still got it. Never mind. I don't know. I just think it's either all a waste or none of it is, and it's kind of freeing to acknowledge that it's not a waste. Like, I can enjoy my time, and I don't have to feel like gaming is a waste of time, because it's not. It's just as much a hobby as anything else is. And I just want that to be... I don't want to say normalized, because I'm sick of saying let's normalize stuff. But I just want people to acknowledge that it's okay to be weird. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I'm strange. And that's okay. It's okay to be, it's okay to be something, I guess. And, I feel like a lot of that is kind of being lost nowadays. We got a lot of, I don't know, I don't even know that it's, really the new generation's fault. I really feel like a lot of it is on my generation and millennials kind of, we did grow up weird and we kind of sought to make that normal. Um, but in the process of making it normal, we kind of lost what made us weird in the first place, and that we didn't fit in. And we're just missing that now. We're missing, not fitting in being okay. Because it's okay not to fit in. It's okay. I literally never in my life have fit in. And I turned out fine. You can talk about all you need to talk about, but that was sick. Oh, ow. Um, you can talk about all you need to talk about, but we don't need to have everything be normal. It's okay for things to be weird, and just accept that they're weird. Like, it doesn't have to be normal for you to enjoy it. And I think it's just kind of the way people are, and it sucks. And I hope in my lifetime that we can kind of reverse that and realize it's okay to be weird, because it really, it's all we've got in life is our passion. And that's all we have.